protecting me. I'll be the one protecting you.
I know.
This thing has been floating around my ass, driving me nuts.
Suddenly, a Zephyr.
Suddenly a cat.
Suddenly a cat. Zephyr polymorphed into a cat. It's fine.
Yep. Arya's pulling the trick on Vanya is what it is.
What if Arya turned Zephyr into a corgi?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the stream died. It's back now. It's okay. I was recording. I started a recording when I realized that it went down, so...
Okay, very good.
Okay.
That first part is... I need to remember to do that more, so that I have full-length VODs and not bits and pieces on Twitch. Damn you, Twitch and OBS.
Hello, VOD.
Noted.
Hello,
I will keep reminding you about it.
Yes, please. I need to be reminded. I'm a terrible streamer. But yes, we're back. Everybody. Hello. Welcome back. They were just discussing the people that they would have seen in their visions when it comes to the voices they heard from the illusions in this place, and Vanya explained that it was her sister primarily that she has heard, and perhaps she can guess who Arya would be hearing. So
I suppose there's a little bit of curiosity, maybe, that I have. What our party mates might have heard. The floop? Is that what they were called? Floop?
Flump. She didn't really write down a pronunciation, did she?
No, she didn't. I'm not sure how they pronounce it, but the strange little jelly creatures, they said something intriguing. All of us were not... We're not...
They're after me.
Ah!
Ah!
I don't live next to a hospital. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's fine.
It happens all the time. That's just the siren alarms going off in my head.
Well, it could be worse. Could be me living in the old neighborhood, in which case everybody here would immediately duck.
I hear that and immediately I have to take shelter. What was I saying? The Flume mentioned something unusual, that we were all strange, not meant to be. That the phrasing's very specific. That is the term, I suppose you could say, that was used when, well, it was the wish that I think brought Shonerith to this land.
Well, that's kind of what they said without naming it. Though I doubt they know its name.
I doubt anything should know its name. And yet here we are.
I'm in agreement with you on that one.
What?
It's the other one.
Baby.
Help. That's all
We're wanted.
Get out of here.
All of us seem to have been brought together by very curious means. but I don't know. Maybe it's my own romantic thinking that makes me want to say that we're all somehow together by an act of fate.
Starting to think that myself lately with everything going on.
What
It's
fate
becoming
that
harder and harder
is.
to deny it.
Whichever fate that is, though, is becoming questionably more terrifying the longer deeper we delve into it. Are we over our heads?
I think we've been in over our heads since day one. But yet we keep going forward because that's the only thing we can do.
You're right.
I don't think it's in any of us to just quit and turn back.
Arya just holds on to Vanya's hands. It's grounding to her in a sense.
Let's get back to the others so we can get started.
Very
We've got a
well.
long day ahead of us.
Indeed we do.
You hear a noise through the air as something flies overhead that's just black, speeding across the sky. Seems to dive into the jungle beyond you, and then is silent.
Which direction was it heading?
Kind of towards the tree. It seemed to dive into the jungle after some creature. It was big, though.
There's part of me that wants to figure out what that was, and another part of me that just wants to say no and ignore it. Let's get the others and go check it out. Might as well.
Agreed. Yes. Yes.
You and the others collect yourselves. I imagine you tell Lagon and Alira and Kaz.
No, we're just gonna lead them straight into it. Like,
I know.
at this point, we are where we are. At this point, if you don't understand what we're walking into anytime we lead you anywhere, that's on you.
I imagine with Lagon's passive perception of 24, he
Would've
was
saw that
aware of whatever was flying over
You saw it.
and would have already started heading towards Arya and Vanya. And as we're making our way, Lagon will reach over and touch Alira and cast Death Ward on Alira.
Alira has Death Ward.
So for the next 8 hours, if you drop to 0 hit points, you automatically come back with 1.
Nice.
Okay then.
Mm-hmm.
Mildly concerned on why I'm the target. What do you intend to do to me?
In our battle experience, you are the squishiest of the squishy. And you like to get up close and hug and cuddle things that bite back. Not quite to the point that Kaz or Kurobe do, but
You've seen what both of them can do. They can hold their own.
And I've got this one motioning to Arya, covered, essentially.
When we get to where we're all together, I will cast Aid at 3rd level on the 3 of you, Alira, Arya, and Vanya.
Okay.
So that's 10 HP to current and max for the next 8 hours.
All right.
Nice.
So you got some extra maximum HP. You've got Death Ward on Alira. As the light above you is spookily disappearing as you continue on, it's weird to feel like you've just woken up for the day, and it looks like dusk everywhere. Very little light, all of which, everything around you is sort of in this gray, almost fog. But it doesn't feel humid like a fog. Something weird. Everything about this place is just odd, like it's not normal. And you continue walking, and you keep your heads on a swivel, all of you keeping your eyes out for more creatures that could potentially swoop overhead or come out from the trees or pounce on you at any moment. There's a moment where there's this sort of almost wolf-like creature, kind of bent over on all fours, kind of stalking, watching. Doesn't get very close, and ultimately decides against a singular of itself, taking on a pack of individuals. You hear noises, but they don't sound natural. You hear the cawing of maybe birds, but that's soon after the cawing is silenced. And nearby you hear the crunching of flesh by a creature. Given how keen some of your ears are.
Vanya's just got this look on her face, and she hears it just like, that is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard.
And you don't hear the rustling of leaves in the winds like you should with this many trees, because there is no canopies and there is no wind. It's like this place is stale. As you continue to walk.
The gun's just keeping his eyes out, ears out, nose out, everything. It all feels wrong.
Yeah, so is Vanya.
Vanya, to you to some degree, Alira to a greater degree, and the other two of you to a moderate degree, you feel like your connections to nature are somewhat stifled. It's like the presence of the land as you know it, whether you believe that to be Zuviwow, whether you believe that to be the creatures and the earth around you, whether you believe that to be some kind of other spiritual force. Your connection to it feels blocked. Not to a degree where you feel like you can't cast your spells, but if you were to try to communicate with the land around you, it would have nothing to say.
don't like that feeling.
No, certainly not. You feel it too.
He's very wrong. He's as if even though speaking the same language, words have different meanings for this sense of disconnection. These abominations are somehow tied to it. As wrong as they are, they're a natural thing that came from this. Evolved, I guess you could say. What they're doing to the people, their military test subjects, is not.
Just hope this feeling doesn't get worse the further we go.
There, according to the map, will be a wild magic zone coming up between here and where we're going.
Oh, joy. And how big is it?
Roughly how big was it on the map, Coffee?
Roughly about, at the longest point, 25 miles across, about 10 to 15 miles deep. Just before you get to the ruins of the capital city.
Just before the ruins, 10 to 15 miles wide, 20 to 25 miles long. I would say that.
Coming in at the, Are we going through it lengthwise or widthwise?
Well, according to the map, we're coming into this lengthwise. That'll be roughly the distance from where we're.
Right, because the ruins of the. I'm kind of pinging it on the map. The ruins are directly north-ish of where you currently are.
So we've got to get past this building and just little bits of trees to get to this wide area that apparently seems a bit barren in some spots.
Yeah, because the tree itself kind of spans this whole space. That's how big it is. It's like miles across.
Yeah.
And from what you understand of the itinerary of the military officers you ran into, they would come in to the ruined capital city from the north end and have a lab and everything like that to carve into this thing as from the ruined city.
Alright, so we need to be extra careful the second we hit this.
Yeah.
We don't need a repeat of what happened in Kombe. Or the desert outside of Kombe, at least.
Maybe these wild magic surges and areas are tied to these abominations as well. Well as the other things that seem to go wrong with magic around here.
I mean, the Calamity did do a lot.
So, well, I mean, what about this is going to be necessarily different? How do we plan to... If we planned anything at all?
If we have to use magic, then we have no other choice but to. Preferably we don't. Because last time, while Lagan was given the power of flight for a little bit, Rune tried to kill me. Under its influences.
Oh!
Yeah. These.
That's fair. That's just how he shows his affection sometimes. I'm joking. I'm joking. That was before the robot. That was before the robot body.
Robot body.
We'll have to tell you about Rune next time we make camp.
Yeah.
To be fair, I never saw it.
So these zones, anytime you cast magic, there is a chance of potentially something good, maybe mediocre, or very bad happening, and you never know what's going to come.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Yeah,
a question.
because... Yes?
Weapons. Wait, you gave me the bow.
Yeah.
I have a bow. Never mind. We're fine.
You have a longbow.
I have a longbow.
And you have armor.
Yes.
Today's looking better for you already.
Not really. It would be so much better if I could see the sun, but unfortunately, we're in hell.
You get the opportunity to be eaten by a tree.
That's fair.
Which, as you continue to travel, the more trees that you pass by, the more they seem to have faces in them.
Yeah, and they're a little bit on the squishy side.
Some of them actually look like they kind of move.
Oh, don't say that.
Like a very slow blink.
Don't look at the trees. Don't look at the trees. That's a very bad idea.
But then you blink, and they're just knot holes.
It appears their eyes are following you, and you blink, and oh, it's just a knothole.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like this place.
It's okay. What was... I don't actually have the specific stats for the bow and arrow. Can I have...
It's just an ordinary longbow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, base
I'll
stats.
just put it in really fast. I'm gonna be busy
Yeah.
with that for like half a second.
Okay.
Yeah, standard longbow.
Yep.
Starting longbow.
Yep.
And quiver.
Yep.
But you continue to walk as you definitely want to make it as far as you can through this forest, kind of maintaining your sights on that giant tree in the distance. It's a pretty ominous sight as you continue to stare at it while you're walking, getting closer and closer. You can start to see the ruins of the city in silhouette.
So close, yet still so far off.
You begin to hear those voices in your minds again, calling out for Vanya, for Lagan, for Arya, for Alira. You assume for Kurobe and Kaz as well.
Whose voice am I hearing? Calling me?
An old shipmate. Actually, better yet, you hear your mother.
It's not real. It's not real.
Speaking to you in the giant tongue.
Lagan is going to continue to mutter this as long as he hears her voice. It's not real. It's not real. It can't be. It's not real.
Hearing Lagan, I'm just going to reassuringly bring my hand up to his arm. Just hold on to his big wrist for a moment and continue to guide him. I'm guided because the most important thing to me is here.
Mm-hmm.
Vanya. As long as her voice is there, I feel fine.
Okay.
But
And actually, what Vanya's gonna do while they're still walking and hearing these voices, she's gonna pull out the guitar and start strumming, giving them something to focus on other than the voices.
Okay. Then I would like you all to make a wisdom saving throw. Those who are elves, you have advantage because you are immune or resistant to charms.
Jesus. Make me do
Goody.
a wisdom saving throw. I'm not that wise.
I gotta do a wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. I want to try something.
Oh, thank God you let that be at advantage.
That was wisdom
that
saving
would have
throw.
been
Right?
bad.
Wisdom
Yep.
saving throw, yep.
I'm okay.
Okay.
I got a 19 total.
And I'm going to
We're
roll
good.
for our good fighting fellows.
Thank you.
18.
Oh, well, they didn't do all that great.
Oh,
27.
no.
It seems that Kaz and Kurobe have frozen in their steps for a moment. Their eyes locked on something, but something you don't see.
oh God. Oh no.
What are they looking at?
They seem to be staring off into the distance. And
I checked in its general location.
there's nothing there that you see. So you all, what were the, what were the scores that y'all got, by the way?
27.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
19.
Okay.
4.
Oh. Well, Alira,
Never mind. You do see what they see.
you see something, as you have also stopped in your tracks. You see Goulant as he was when you last saw him. It's still the rickety old man, but very much alive.
Guys?
Each of them starts to take a step.
Oh God, it's not this. I am going to go and grab. I'm gonna go grab Alira and I'm going to drag her back. I know I can't do shit against Kaz and Kurobe. I got nothing on them.
I'll take my chance with Kurobe.
Okay.
Leave Kaz to Lagan.
Alright. I think I'll take care of that then.
Okay. So, Arya is going to attempt to to keep Alira from walking forward. So, Arya, I need you to make an athletics check.
More specifically, not just stop her from walking forward, but trying to break her
To break the charm?
illusionment.
Okay.
Yes. I'm not sure how that would be done. Wait, I do know how that would be done. Ooh! Maybe would protection from good and evil work for that?
Could. You know that and since you're you're kind of on the Healy side of a sorcerer too, you would know that lesser restoration would work too.
Healy side of sorcerer. Joke's on you. That's still not part of my repertoire.
But you know of it.
I do know of it. I will relay that to Gon, though I'm sure he could figure it out.
I'm aware of that, and that's
Okay.
why I was saying I have a small plan. That
Oh!
my first
The target
action.
also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them, by creatures of my chosen type, for protection from good and evil. So, theoretically, it should break the charm.
Okay. You can certainly try.
I'm gonna do this for. I'm gonna fix this with one secret. I'm gonna use my sorcery points and use twin spell so I can cast that twice because it says one willing creature that you touch. If I touch two people, one target.
Really?
Twin spell works for one target. One target thing. So
okay.
Yeah.
Because you could choose two targets then.
Yep. I'm going to. I'm going to go ahead and poke Alira and Kurobe, because Kurobe can just pick up Kaz and drag him.
That's fair.
Okay. So, what does a protection from good and evil when it comes to aberrations look like when you cast it?
I feel a surge of energy. I've done this spell before for other kinds of things, but for aberrations, it's almost like I'm conjuring an energy and force that is antithetical to it, to what it is that I am trying to protect against. And in this case, maybe somehow the essence of conjuring this power, it's almost as if the dirt is relinquished of the gray hue from it, a warmth returning to it, some flourishing beneath my feet in a small circle. Move my hands, and a light pulses through me with glowing tattoos or features, whatever those things are. I don't know. They've just been on me. And it seems, and as soon as my hands connect with the other two, they can't communicate it. Alira can, but a warmth will pass through them. Their senses return.
Okay. Kurobe's senses return to him. Alira's senses return to him, but Arya, it's tough. It's tough to draw on that kind of energy when there's none of it here. So you have to reach deep within yourself. Not just the land around you, but within yourself to push this forward. It doesn't cost you anything more mechanically.
Sorcery points, concentration up to 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It is a touch spell, it is abjuration spell, and creatures of those type have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target.
Mm-hmm.
If the target is already charmed, frightened, or possessed by such a creature, the target has advantage on any new saving throw against the relevant effects.
Okay, so
it doesn't automatically restore them.
Nope.
They have a saving throw now.
So Kurobe will roll an advantage on a new saving throw. which he does succeed on. Elira, you get a new saving throw at advantage.
Come on, Elira. Come on, Elira.
Sweet. New high score. 6.
That's with advantage.
That's with advantage.
Oh,
Bro. Why are
As
your
you
dice
touch her-
like this?
as you touch her, you feel like the connection almost doesn't quite feel right, and she continues to march forward just a little bit. You know that the spell went off. But maybe you have to be a little patient. So, Elira, you're kind of walking forward almost as if it's by something else driving you. But you see that Gallant has his hand forward, and he's speaking to you in the undercommon of the Drow. Speak with me. How have you been? Where have you been?
Lost. Been up here, where it's blinding. I've followed a lady's decree. And I fear I'm losing myself. Bringing back the old ways. Gallant, I don't know what to do. I'm lost without you.
Take my hand, child. You feel the touch of Arya's hand on your back. For a moment, Gallant's words are stronger than hers. But you look at him and his eyes get more stern. Come, Elira. As if he's commanding you. Something that might be a little off based on your relationship before. Make another saving throw at advantage. Kaz is still walking forward. You're muted.
New high! 7.
Oh no.
I would like to use a guidance.
I'm sorry.
Roll guidance. Roll a d4.
Oh wait, guidance is actually concentration. I can't do that.
Oh.
Never mind.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Mojo, you're muted.
So, using the same materials from protection from good and evil,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do protection from good and evil on Kaz, and then I have a different idea for Elira, still using the same materials. Dispel evil and good.
Okay. So you're casting protection on Kaz.
Right.
So
And when I do the dispel, it looks like it surrounds
oh no,
me.
wait. Hang on. Kaz actually saved from the thing. Never mind. He's not not in any danger.
Okay. Then I don't waste the protection from good and evil or the materials for that.
You can just do the dispel if you want to.
I will do dispel evil and good on Elira. So it has the same shimmering effect, like the lightning is surrounding my body. And I woke up and I touch a lyra and break enchantment.
Okay.
So as my action when I touch a lyra, charmed, frightened, possessed, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, undead, etc. Creature you touch is no longer charmed, frightened, or possessed by any such creature.
Okay. You feel a second hand reach out for your shoulder, Alira, and as soon as it touches you, the fog in front of you just sort of dissipates a bit more and takes Goulant with it. Whatever image was there, it floats away. And he's gone again. Kurobe pipes up. That was a close one.
Yes, indeed. At least we have an idea of how we can handle this a bit more effectively. Oh, dear. I really wish we came a little bit more prepared for the charming effects. If anything, at all.
Did you have anything specifically telling us that this was a danger here?
Yeah. The whole of the book.
We have a book that says it. Don't go here with a big old skull in the middle of the map.
But it doesn't say that the charmed and possession thing is the cause of that. Does it?
No, it does. It definitely goes
All
up
of
that.
the creatures are able to do it, so you think that maybe there's a creature out there who's stalking you or luring you this way?
Yeah. I imagine Wiggerbottom's details on the notes are pretty substantial regarding the ecology of the area and why it is.
Which does make you wonder, how does the Grioran Empire's people avoid all of this shit? They have to go through the wasteland too.
How indeed? Wait a second! They probably have something! Oh! It would be lovely if we actually came into contact with some of their troops again. Maybe they might actually have something that we could use. Trade for, maybe. We don't have to mug them.
Mug them.
No.
How many more? How many more Imperial troops are you wanting us to wipe out to acquire such things?
Rather not wipe them out. But we can at least figure out how they do it.
It's true.
Well, I don't tend to hold back against these things, and the things I do hurt them.
Let's reserve our violent inclinations for the biggest threat on the field. I think Caleb is still out here, so if we do encounter anyone else out here, I would much rather just have a delightful chat with them instead.
If possible.
Do you even trust what to end up having a conversation with out here?
That is a good point. And for that, I don't have an answer, unfortunately.
Anything that spent quite a bit of time out here probably develop some kind of mental abilities or magics to help.
Or maybe it simply ignores the soldiers.
No, because if you're in this area, it wouldn't just pick and choose. There has to be something that negates it, either a magic or item or something that protects their minds
Or a curse.
from these assaults.
Curse involving black threads all over inside the body. I don't know.
Being a part of it protects them from it.
That's my bet. That's my wager. But I'm also not an expert on anything regarding this.
But we haven't seen those where they're taking these samples from.
True. That's true.
So we don't know if they are modified. We've not fought them. We have fought the warriors that they've created from these things, and some of the creatures that have apparently mutated from this thing. Very similar abilities to what we saw with your brother Vanya, with Caleb and...
Yeah.
Maybe because magic is so messed up here, they've decided to use these seemingly inherent abilities or nature of this abomination to replace the magic. And no gods for something similar.
Well, there's one way to find out.
Maybe they're using this. Maybe they're using this to try and bring back the old gods of death and the Titans.
I hope they're not interlinked. That'd be one hell of a mess.
As if this wasn't already a big enough mess.
Exactly.
You know, I'm starting to understand why that dragon general decided to send us on this little quest instead of doing it himself at any point. This is horrible.
We're expendable.
More than that at this point.
No one will necessarily miss us.
It's because sending anyone else would have been a risk. Of course. Not just specifically to himself, but the
we're a risk too, but not directly to his life.
We're a risk too, but we're.
And there's no telling. There's also no telling who close to him are being watched. We showed that we're not.
The stream had a hiccup, so we'll give it a
Goodbye,
second.
coffee!
And your robotic garblies.
It's okay. YouTube can hear me and you guys just fine.
Yep.
It's just us, YouTube. Hi.
Now I can hear you.
Hello, YouTube.
Damn it, Twitch.
I think it's my internet being futzy, and I'm not sure why. So.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, OBS hasn't kicked back on just yet. But oh, there it is. There it is. Hi again. Welcome back, Twitch.
It's gonna be one of those days.
Yeah. I may have to reset my internet every Saturday.
That might be a smart idea.
Because
so. Hey, Coffee, how's that Texan grid treating you? You're so mad at me. I'm sorry.
Look, it's not my
God.
power. It's not my power. It's my internet.
It's not your power. It's just your internet. You pay for both.
Anyway, as you were saying.
There's a chance we might not know which of those close to him, under his authority, that are being watched closely by the Doctor. We've shown that we're not. We can move freely. So, expendable people who can go wherever the hell they want. One hell of an advantage for him.
I'm just thinking to myself, musing mostly, that it would have been very nice to have a little more
Backing, support,
backing,
inspiration.
support, research. Yeah, all of that would have been great. They really kept it vague on purpose, didn't they?
Yeah, both of them did. The General and the Doctor.
Got us here, didn't it?
Yeah.
Great force and energy. But eventually, now the question is, it's been proven we can dig tunnels. Now can we move mountains?
I may have a spell for that.
I was being metaphorical.
Does earthquake count? No, I don't have that one. That's nature cleric. Never mind. That's a druid thing.
I just look over to Alira.
Wait. You want me to do what now?
She asked if we could move mountains. Earthquake can split the land and make the mountain literally drop, so it moves.
You are expecting the maneuvering of a mountain.
It would take a miracle to do that, Alira.
Well, earthquakes make mountains, so...
Yes. Over a very
Over
long
time.
time.
We don't have that amount of time. Unfortunately. As amusing as that would be.
In fairness, it might have worked on the ocean. I can't blame you. You were a sailor once. It might have worked on the ocean. It'd make a mountain of water very quickly. In like less than an hour. Somewhere else.
I could do that much quicker with just a destructive wave.
That's true.
It also helps to be on water.
That's true.
Right now we are stuck in
The
sand,
desert.
maybe? I don't know if we can call it sand, dirt, or ash.
Nobody knows what it is anymore.
Maybe it's all three.
Maybe it's stardust.
That'd be a nice thought. But this is getting us nowhere.
Just
I imagined you were walking and talking, so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Idle chatter as we're going along.
any case. Hopefully, let's just stay guarded, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh, do we have rope?
Plenty.
Yes.
Let's tie each other up by the waist.
Please be more specific. How do you mean? Like if we are mountain climbing?
Yes. So that way, if one of us does get hypnotized, they just start walking off. But they can't, because the rest of us are dragging them.
Unless the majority of us here get hypnotized, in which case the majority are dragging the ones who aren't.
Of course.
It's just
But
a
it'd be
thought.
easier to at least try to slow people down or get over to them quicker. Try and help.
Well, if you are trying to drag me,
Though, granted, Kaz taking off running might pose an issue to this.
yes.
I mean,
Yes,
Kaz
run
taking
very,
off-
very fast.
Cause you taking off running would pose an issue, regardless of you being tied up or not.
Karobe as well.
Just
Not quite as quickly, but still.
You say that as if us getting there first doesn't protect your asses.
That's not what I mean. You have a habit of leaping before looking, and sometimes there are better ways than with fist, feet, or weapon. You just happen to
Yeah.
meet the wrong things, Karobe, and they don't like the way you look or speak at them.
That sounds
don't
like
know,
a
that
them
Hydra-
problem.
I don't know, that Hydra seemed to really enjoy our little interaction. Or maybe that was just us.
The giant rock golem definitely didn't, or sand golem didn't appreciate his salutations.
Neither did the giant scorpion.
No,
Or the giant squirrel.
no.
There was no giant squirrel. I just wanted to contribute.
Robe, I'm starting to get the indication that you're better at farewells than you are greetings.
I never said I was the most charismatic of people. I see a problem, I hit it.
Not the problems can be fixed
And
by
then
hitting.
when you hit that, it becomes our problem.
Not all problems can be solved by hitting.
I am.
Just need to make...
But while they're talking, Vanya's digging out the ropes.
No, good. Someone's behind me on this.
Oh, Lagan is taking them and tying knots in them so that they will loop
my
together and much like we would for the Sherpa through.
Everyone complained at first, but we're doing it anyway.
No, I am still complaining because I hate being tied down to anything or anyone. But there were instances where it was necessary on board the ship.
I hate being tied down to anything or anyone, but you're tied down to this party, buddy.
Currently tied together with you, not specifically to you.
Vanya just makes a little harness to put on Zephyr with one.
Yeah. Well, that was specifically what Lagan was trying to tie.
Yeah.
Everybody has their little rope belts now.
Yeah.
Great, we're gonna go hitting trees now whenever Kaz takes off. This is gonna be fun.
I don't like the way they're looking at me.
Neither.
Are you sure they're actually looking at you, though?
They aren't when I'm chomping them down. That was Karobe speaking, by the way.
That doesn't mean they were actually looking at you before you chopped them down.
Ah, well. Better safe than sorry, in my opinion.
You know, a great big fire would help instead of an axe.
But then you'd be setting the entire place on fire. I don't think...
Would it all burn?
It doesn't look like it would burn.
It's flesh. It's more of a barbecue in a small localized area.
I didn't need that image, thank you, Lagan.
Only this barbecue smells like rotting sewage dumpster fire.
That's dumpster fire.
You remember how bad the sewer smelled?
Okay.
Set
Not
it
as
on
bad as...
fire.
Yeah, set that on fire.
There's this black substance that kind of spread out and stick to everything and make it even worse. Describing the smell of burning tar to Alira, mixed with the rotting sewage and vomit and other offal and bodily excrement, and then all set on fire.
Right, that's gonna be an image I can't get out of my head for a little bit.
It's the job of some garbage maintenance people.
It looks like they've been severely lacking in this place for quite a while.
I mean, if that was your job, would you want to come out this way?
Depends on the benefit of the job, but, well, it depends on who I'm doing it for.
Well, I don't know about you all, but it kind of looks like there's a group of them, and he kind of points out in front of you all, kind of walking across our line of walking.
All right.
What do these things look like?
Humanoid shape.
I don't like that. What do you mean humanoid shape?
As in, they're relatively average humanoid size, bipedal, kind of slumped.
I'm talking, bruh. I'm talking.
don't
Are
know
we
what
like
they are,
looking at like fucking? God, what was it like? Bipedal. What was the fucking?
It's from a
franchise
distance,
again?
so they're kind of, there isn't a whole lot of detail that you can see right now, especially with all this fog.
Not a lot of detail. Can't judge size.
You can judge size. They're medium creatures.
I'm imagining this is like we're looking at like Silent 2, just blobby humanoid shapes in the fog. These things are just like as they walk around.
Think more
you know the
Slenderman
ones.
in my mind.
Well, let's get a little closer and figure this out. At best, they're people. At worst, we can just take them out easily.
The gun will take out his hammer.
I pull out the bow and have it ready. I will be actively keeping a good distance.
Vanya's moving forward, though?
Yep.
Okay.
The gun is too.
Are you doing so stealthily or at a normal pace?
Stealthily.
Stealth, since we see those.
And in which case, Pass Without Trace is getting cast.
Okay.
Woohoo.
Alright, both of y'all make a stealth check.
That's just a straight roll, right? With
it's plus 10.
Plus
it's
10
plus
plus
10.
your stealth
Oh,
modifier,
just plus
obviously.
10. Oh, okay. It's still at disadvantage.
Yep, given the armor type you wear.
Yeah.
28.
Okay. So 24.
Ooh, not bad for disadvantage.
Hold on. Let me make sure that that's not no, that's not my charisma, so yeah, it's actually 25, sorry.
Okay. Not bad, not bad. So you both start, you kind of hunch over and start watching watching your steps as you're walking forward, making sure not to crunch the sand wrong or step on an ashen branch or anything of that sort. In fact, you don't have to work terribly hard to be very quiet with your footsteps, which is kind of nice. The pass without trace even muffles it even further. And you start to walk forward, and Vanya, since you have dark vision, you would have a longer range of sight than Lagan would, because Lagan doesn't. You do start to see that there are red robes like the military of the Grioran Empire, like tabards and things on them.
Do they look like ripped up or anything, or are they in like perfect condition?
They're kind of in rough shape. The soldiers look like they're slumped over. They don't have weapons drawn. They're still in their armor, though.
How do the soldiers themselves look? Like, do they look like if they're just the Walking Dead, or?
You're not getting a good look at their face because they've still got their helmets on, too. But they seem to be walking aimlessly like all of the aberrant creatures that you've seen so far.
Lagan, you know that little spell you used on Alira earlier?
Yeah.
Get it ready. I want to try something.
It is ready, and what do you have in mind?
You'll see. She's going to go around to the back side of the group.
Okay.
And lasso one.
Okay. That I'm going to call for a dexterity attack roll. I don't think you're proficient with all martial weapons or all simple weapons, are you?
Both, actually.
Okay. Then you are proficient with a rope.
That'd be 15.
15 does not hit. You connect with one of the spikes off the helmet, and the helmet itself comes off. And you do see that this person their hair is disheveled, black, which isn't unusual. You've seen black hair on the soldiers before, but it looks back at you and kind of turns in this almost boneless sort of style, like its head is rotating 180 degrees at you. And this face is covered in black hair as well. Big, sort of beady eyes that are basically pinpricks for pupils. And kind of a mouthy, like a toothy sort of maw in it.
She's gonna start backing up. That was not what she expected to see, but that also answered her question.
And it is going to lunge and make an attack roll at you.
Oh no.
Oh boy. Combat!
Well, thankfully, it swings and it misses because it's lumbering around a little bit.
Is this why you wanted me to have that ready, Vanya?
No. Her entire idea was to lasso one, have you cast it to see if they're just like under some sort of trance. She was not expecting the hairs to be covering the face.
I thought you wanted me to. Well, this is the same thing, just a slightly altered version. Oh, you wanted me to specifically break the enchantment. I was going to do this.
If it was something like what Lyra and Kaz and Kurobe had been like, she would have had you use it on the one she lassoed.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, but since, face covered in hair, that ain't the case.
And it lunged at you with its big toothy maw and screeched at you when it missed, and it got the attention of the other ones. There's about 5 or 6 others that are just turned to you now. You see these white eyes, these large mouths full of teeth, the sort of the black hair kind of seeping out of the underside of the helmet and just kind of wiggles right in front of them as they begin to move towards you in a not so humanoid fashion. That like they're made of liquid.
That's nightmare fuel.
They haven't caught up to you yet, but they're getting close.
Are some of them at least like 15 foot from me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to use Thunder Wave.
There's that guy who's right in front of you, who's within that square, and then you can wait until the others are within that square.
Yeah, I'm going to wait until the others are in that square, and in that case, I'm actually going to upcast that.
Okay. And so you probably get 4 in there by the time the one that swung at you is going to have a chance to swing at you again.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
that's cacked. Okay, that's a 17 plus something. I was gonna do like a...
That's gonna hit if you rolled a 17 flat, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna call this a slam attack like a zombie, so... We're gonna go with a d6. Well, it doesn't hurt you very much. That's like 3 damage.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be a Thunder Wave at level 3. Anyone within that 15-foot cube needs to make a con save.
Okay, so that's 4 individuals. So the first 2 is the first one is a 2, and the second one is a 12.
Neither pass.
And 3 and 4 have an 18 and a 9.
The 18 will pass. He'll take half damage, but he won't be pushed away from me. Everyone else is going to take 4d8 damage and then push 10 feet away from me.
Alright, roll your damage.
So total damage is 15.
All but that one that wasn't pushed kind of just apparate into a mist? Question mark.
That's creepy.
Oh.
And the black hairs just seem to fall in place where they had been pushed. The clothing and the armor, the tabards, all of those things just lay where they stood.
Oh. Fuck. Okay. She's gonna call to Lagan like, hey, Lagan, need a little bit of help here.
Okay, how close is that thing to Vanya?
About 10 feet. It could easily walk up and hit her on the next turn.
Okay. Well.
And you're within this. You're within distance that you could walk up and hit it yourself.
Yeah. So I am going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay.
On it as I'm moving towards it.
Okay.
I'm using my hammer. 21 to hit.
With the spiritual weapon or with Mjolnir?
With Mjolnir.
Okay, that'll hit.
That is going to be 10 points of damage from Mjolnir bludgeoning, I believe.
Yes.
And then spiritual weapon.
It also pops
Okay.
before your spiritual weapon even gets to swing at it.
Well, it'll stay around me and continue to move. It's like 20 feet. Up to 20 feet as long as it can stay.
There's a couple more, but they see what's happened and they start running for a mad dash, screeching as they go through the petrified forest.
Towards us or away from us?
Away.
How
Okay.
close are they together? Are they like within 10 feet of each other?
Yeah,
Or are
10
they
feet
splitting
ish
up?
to give themselves space to run.
Okay. I'm going to cast Call Lightning on the before they get to 120 feet away.
Okay. Call lightning it is.
On the one that's in the front. So that's going to be a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. One of them is an epic fail with a 1.
I love it.
I don't feel so alone anymore.
The other is a 17 plus stuff.
Okay, so yeah, the 17 dex definitely save just on the die, but still going to take half damage. And because it's at 4th level, that's 4d10 damage.
Okay, roll it.
Give me, where did my d10s go? Oh. Eight points of lightning damage.
Okay, both of them pop into a mist. No more walking around, just piles of armor, tabards, and weapons, and black hair that is no longer moving.
Well, for the next 10 minutes, I can do the same thing if anything pops up in this 60-foot sphere.
How old do the tabards and weapons look?
Current. They don't look like they're old soldiers. They look like they're from the current military. Grunts by the look of their look at the rank insignias.
I'm going to walk up nearby.
Okay.
I just heard magic being cast. Is everything okay? Saw those things moving around and all of that. Are we?
They were a threat.
Were they people?
Not particularly. There's probably some vague mist forms of where these things were.
That have kind
Still
of blended
left.
into the fog now.
Okay.
I go up to stand beside Vanya and inspect the gear. Is there anything? Can I? Well, is Vanya here?
I think she stepped away for a second.
Okay.
Her internet said "fuck you," so.
Okay, so it's just me.
Yep.
I would like to go ahead and do an investigation check and see
On the Empire soldiers' gear. Okay.
Yes,
You're not
I
alone.
guess I'm looking for like any sort of like identifiers, not just the gear itself, but like names, badges,
Rank.
rank, and in addition to that, I suppose I'm looking for, I guess,
Information on who the soldiers were.
yeah, their mission, what they were
Neat.
doing out here. I can assume what they're doing out here, but I want like definition.
Mm.
Last thing I guess I'm kind of looking for is like any sort of special items they might have had on them, like loot. This isn't mugging.
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Okay.
Most of what you're looking for, you'll find pretty easily because it's easy to find. But if you're looking for something special, that's going to take a little digging.
It's a flat
Don't you
16,
give
my
an
guy.
interest on that deeper.
What have I missed? Because my internet just said "fuck off."
Arya's poking around in the gear that was left behind by the people that had been turned into hair.
Okay,
Flat 16, by the way.
Okay. So, you find names, you find ranks, you find a short description of their current mission so that they can present it to whomever it may concern at like city gates and things like that, or to a commanding officer. Something relatively vague, but still indicates that they are here as part of the expedition and are meant to serve as grunt work. They're there to supply backup should things turn foul. Apparently, things might have turned foul for these individuals because they were converted, turned into aberrations themselves.
No.
Question. It's a bit out of the way for me, but the three of y'all could disguise yourself as them?
That would be what to do if we had actually seen proper faces. Their faces were covered in nothing but that
Hair.
Oh.
They lack the structure needed to make anything
They
convincing.
weren't.
We don't know what they looked like, so we can't reproduce or recreate, even with illusion. What they looked like before they died, however, we all got a very good look at. We could recreate that. It'd definitely scare the fuck out of anyone that's still trying to take things from the tree. And then we wouldn't have to worry about changing my size. Make me look like one of them in robes.
We can probably do that should we come across anyone else. We don't know how far these guys came.
About how far are we from at least guesstimating to the ruins?
You're
with this encounter.
Yeah, you're coming on close to the end of your first day traveling from the village, so you're about halfway at the end of the night.
Okay.
So they're rather far from their station coming out this way.
Okay.
They're at least 25 miles from their station.
So anything in that was stationed there may not be themselves anymore? Since they're so far from their station. Well, Arya was, Yeah, while Arya was checking into all of this stuff, I want to see if I can locate tracks where they might have come from, and if they were hiding their numbers or trying to conceal their numbers.
Okay, survival check.
+5.
And
I
anyone
think I'd be really good at those checks, but don't ask me to roll.
you can assist if you want.
No, I'm not cursing him. I understand that's not how dice work.
Your
20
dice say otherwise.
What am I rolling? Advantage?
No.
No.
No. Derek doesn't want to
17
curse
plus
you,
5
apparently.
Okay. 17 plus 5. I'm rolling at disadvantage?
No, you're rolling regular.
Okay. It's 22.
22. Okay.
I'll assist.
Should have declared that before.
I don't need it.
But yeah, you didn't even need a 22 to find their tracks because they weren't covering them.
Right.
It was more along the lines of determining the direction that they came from, and they were kind of crossing your path. So you were going straight towards the tree, and they were crossing over. You kind of look at the tracks. They do kind of go back into the jungle.
Right.
Kind of following them a little bit more. It gives you a good idea that they did, however, come from the direction of where you're headed.
Ruins.
Yeah, the ruins. The ruins
Even
of
though they're
the
deeper
city.
into the. Yeah. Okay. They're deeper into the trees and the forest of this whatever not forest is, but
Definitely
still in
deeper
that
from
general
here.
direction. Yeah. Well, there's no road, so.
Nope. And they weren't concerned with covering their tracks. So.
Specifically trying to be alert and on the lookout for if there are more of them, or potentially other predators tracking or following. Potentially.
Make a perception check.
+9. 26.
Okay. As you're kind of following these tracks just a little bit away from the group. Well, you're tied together. You can't really go far without your group. But
as far as the rope will let me get,
yeah,
and put distance. Yeah.
Yeah. And so as you're doing that, you're kind of keeping your eyes out for other creatures that might have heard the screeching that happened from these sort of weird person-shaped beings. You kind of look out for more. You are kind of looking towards the sky, kind of keeping your eyes out for anything as you continue your journey forward too. That as you're looking around, it definitely looks like there's more and more tracks that happen around here. That you're seeing sort of footprints that don't look like human-like feet. You're seeing creature tracks, but their gait is so warped that it's hard to tell what kind of creature it is.
I'll share this with Vanya since she's actually the better tracker.
And if I heard right, they're coming from the direction we're heading.
They're coming from the direction of the ruins, yeah.
Oh no.
You're kind of garbling up a little bit, though.
Well, internet.
They're coming from the general direction that we're going, so
Yep.
And I'm not extremely far away from any. Well, there's no real path or trail through here, but we're still going in the general direction of the tree and the ruins.
Because you can kind of
Anya?
see it in the distance.
Yeah.
Anya, can we sneak around using your trick?
Oh, I think we lost
Never
her.
mind. Anya has bailed.
Yep.
You're on her own. The one time I want the whole pass without trace moment.
Can we wait?
She'll
for
be back here in a
Vanya to
second.
return?
Yeah, she says she's switching over to her phone instead of using her home internet for now.
Lord. Hello. Welcome back.
Vanya, pass without trace, please.
Okay, gonna cast it. Is this any better, by the way?
Much.
Yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
you are not garbled.
Yeah, so, long story short, net's fucked out. Connected computer to phone and apparently doesn't like Discord through computer.
I think that's just been across the board tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, pass without trace is cast. We're good.
Cool.
Yep.
We're sneaking. We're
I think
sneaking.
I think the question also was
Sneaky.
asked if y'all plan to sneak forward, continue forward, or if you're going to continue at your normal pace.
We're sneaking. I don't want to
We're,
deal
we're
with
going to go
any more
slower
crawlies.
because we know there's more things out there, and whatever the screams that
Yeah.
they're potentially even worse things than them.
And looking out towards the tree as well, you do see more of those sort of flying creatures too.
Caw,
And they look huge even
that's-
from this distance.
caw,
That's fantastic.
caw. Oh, yeah, let's sneak, please.
Okay.
Yeah, let's be sneaky fucks this time around.
So, by doing that, you are going to add an extra day to your travel.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. All right. So, you continue forward, sneaking. I would like a group stealth check. So everyone roll stealth.
Remember, it is a
10,
plus
right?
10. Yes.
17.
Ooh, look at that.
Finally.
That's with the plus 10.
Why do your dice hate you?
I don't know.
Because there's got to be
26.
somebody to balance me out. I've not rolled anything lower than an 11 tonight, so that gives me 22.
Kaz got 31.
29.
Of course.
And Karobe. Karobe's not currently wearing armor, is he? No, he's not. Okay.
No.
Then he got a 15. So. But collectively, you all are very, very sneaky. You hear the screeches of other creatures as you kind of weave your way through this jungle some more. You find that
I forgot to roll for Zephyr.
Oh, roll for Zephyr. Yep.
Yeah, it's like a 19 plus 8. He's good.
He's good. He's good. He's solid. He's a sneaky boy. He's a big boy, but he's a sneaky boy.
That'd be 37 for him.
Nice.
Laters are needed. Yeah.
You see more of these
Yep,
creatures
sneaky puppy.
flying overhead. You're lagging behind, by the way. And then so as you continue to sneak across, you're kind of keeping yourself out out of sight range of some of the creatures that you do start to see, kind of going through this place, and you swear that you're hearing more and more of those voices from those who are dead.
Yep.
And I think that's where we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back and see if we can fix some of these tech issues. So we'll be right back, everybody.
GG.
Welcome back, everyone, to Rebirth, a D&D tale. Where we had left off, our band of adventurers, the Lucky Sevens, had decided to slow down their pace a little bit, as it seems that there are more creatures massing around this sort of center place in the middle of the waste. The more and more creatures are starting to roam about, aimless, including some of the soldiers from the Greoran Empire who walked around like they were shambling like an undead, like a zombie. But as it turns out, their whole being was made of this sort of fleshy material that then apparated into mist alongside the black hair. And so, the Lucky Sevens have decided to slow down their pace a little bit to try and avoid some of these creatures, to protect themselves from having to spend too many of their resources while trying to get to the massive tree in the distance, which they see flying silhouettes against the dark sky and the beginnings of the ruins of the gnomish city that used to surround this tree. So, on the second day of your travel, so we'll jump ahead just a little bit. Is there anything specific that you're looking to do while traveling? Because of course you're going to make your stealth checks, you're going to make your appropriate spell castings if you need to. But is there anything others that you wish to do?
I am making notes and studying the effects or the ecology of the local area, mostly out of curiosity. The entire, surface world is an anomaly unto itself, but now I'm seeing an anomaly within an anomaly.
True.
Certainly not something any of my people have seen over the past century.
Exactly. And so you'll note that in this particular place, at least, the dirt on which you walk is very ashy to the touch. Very much a sort of weird, soft sand, which maybe you don't expect. The trees around you, obviously, are petrified or solidified to a point that they resemble stone, or they feel as if they're going to crumble into ash themselves if push comes to shove. That there's very little in the way of wind and very little in the way of life. If it wasn't for the fact that it's so strange amongst the greenery of the rest of the Octan jungle that you have seen so far, you probably would consider this place rather boring. It's definitely weird. Anything else in specific that you want to know?
Not in particular, more trying to see if there's an advantage that can be leveraged or something that would make pathing a little bit easier. It's certainly odd.
Making the pathing a bit easier, aside from like fashioning like some kind of like sand shoes, but you don't really feel that you're sinking sinking into the sand all that much. You're not finding it very difficult to walk this terrain.
I didn't expect so, but still, there was a worry that could end up becoming an issue.
No, you've traveled rock caverns that are far more dangerous to the step than this. The thing that would be the most dangerous that you find out of everything is that those lumbering creatures are still out and about, and they're becoming more and more populous as you get closer to the tree. You see that some of them attack one another for sustenance, you think? But it's not as actually if they particularly eat them. They just seem to absorb them as you continue watching. Maybe that's how these things feed. They just absorb what little life essence might be there.
That's a little bit of a concern.
Especially since the 7 of you are probably the most life-full things in this entire region as of right now.
Of course you would remind us of that.
But you pack up your things, you collect your camp, and you begin to set out a little more sneakily towards the ruins of the Gnomish city to the north.
And as we go to leave, pass without trace.
Okay. Pass without trace is cast. Are we getting any casts from our cleric or from our druid for the road ahead?
I don't think I have anything locked in that's going to end up making it any easier, to be honest with you.
Any kind of protection you want to issue for your comrades, or because you did get a long rest, so you can choose your spells for the day.
Yes. Aid as well as always to Arya, Alira, and Vanya.
Okay.
And I will put Death Ward on Zephyr this time.
Death Ward on Zephyr, huh?
Yeah, because he has a habit of running into shit that he shouldn't be, like insect plagues.
Kurobe, kind of rubbed off on him the wrong way in that aspect.
Yeah, a little bit. Can you blame him? He likes Kurobe.
That's 10 to the 3 of you for the next 8 hours, and then for the next 8 hours, if Zephyr takes enough hits to drop to 0, he comes back automatically at 1.
Okay.
That's possible because he's only got 24 health points. So.
And he's dropped several times. That's what I'm saying. It's Death Ward. So when he drops, he comes back.
Exactly.
He's only got 1 HP at that point, but comes back.
Mm-hmm. We like to protect the doggo. All right. So, with that being said, let's roll some stealth checks, shall we? I'll roll for the boys. Ooh.
6.
Yikes. The boys did not roll any better.
Don't forget the plus 10.
16.
There you go. 30.
30.
For cause, this is a low roll. That is 22. That's a 2 on the dice for him.
What about Karobe?
Karobe. Let's look. Karobe. Got a dirty 1.
Oh, of course he did. Of course he did. Dexterity is so. Oh.
Arya got a 17.
Okay. Well,
That's why I keep that spell.
most of you, except for Karobe, have a very easy time making it, making your travel noiseless. And you make up for the fact that Karobe is a rather loud individual in general. He's talking very loud. He's clanking around with his equipment a little bit. Even though he's not wearing armor, he still manages to be a little noisy as he's walking. But you are able to, as a group, make up for that. That's why I like group checks, because you all make up for each other. So, that does mean that unless you want to, on purpose, attract some of these creatures, you will be able to get by them unscathed.
2 dirty 30s, I don't think we want to attract any more attention than necessary.
No, I don't think you do.
If you're rolling higher than dirty 30s, we start entering cougar territory.
So, but with that being said, we're going to kind of speed through this day a little bit, and as a group, also do wisdom saving throws to avoid the sort of illusions and things going on.
Is this for being charmed?
Yes, the same ones that you have been facing. So we
Can
get
I
advantage
use
on our
that?
elves.
Oh, I have
I'm going to
advantage.
counter charm it. So everyone's getting advantage?
Oh, okay. So you're playing your counter charm? Nice.
Yes. Because I forgot that was a thing I could do.
As a
Thank
bard,
you
yes it is.
so much, because my
Wait.
first roll was a 3, and that would have been bad.
I rolled twice and I got an 8.
Ooh.
You're
Hey.
getting better.
They're going in the right direction right now.
That's for
Wow.
Kaz, he got a 19 plus stuff. And for Karobe,
9.
he got a 5 plus stuff.
9.
12.
Nope. Karobe got a 7. So how
This
many were
is-
less than 10?
Well, I got 10 exact.
Okay, that's the DC. So you made it.
Oh, thank God.
Barely.
27.
Okay. I think as a group, the fact that there's only 2 failures does make up for the fact that the rest of you did succeed, so you're able to pull your comrades with that rope, that rope chain that you made, be able to keep them from succumbing to any kind of dangerous situation as a result. So you are able to move along stealthily. You're able to resist the temptations to walk into danger, and as you're continuing to walk, again, more and more of these creatures are starting to pile up, and more and much bigger ones. You start to see some of these flying ones have actually started to perch on some of the larger trees that are now in this area. The kind of squawk in a way that almost seems to echo in a very metallic sort of way, almost. They feel like they would be made of a machine, but when you look at them, they're made of mist and fog and some fleshy bits and some There's some tendrils coming off of them where you would think legs would be. The beak is more of a mouth. So while they look like giant rocks with their big feathered wings and sort of bird-like shape, they're clearly not that. You see more of them start to swoop down and absorb some of these others that are just kind of lumbering around, including some of those lumbering, a few more of the sort of lumbering humanoid shapes that have the Grioran Empire armor and tabards to them. But it's mostly just creatures that you would think would have an animal sort of equivalent, but have been warped in such a way that barely even seems like it should exist. You see another Hydra off in the distance with its multiple heads, with its very long tail, going after what looks like what could have been a goat, but it's clearly not a goat. Just kind of snaps all of its mouths onto the thing and then just kind of sucks whatever's in it up into itself.
That's unnerving.
What is that?
The strong devouring the weak.
Vanya's gonna pull out the book and see if there's anything on this creature.
All of these creatures.
There's plenty of information on the goat creatures. You know about hydras. There's even as you're kind of walking about, you do see what looks like a brain with legs, kind of scampering about and kind of running away.
No!
Don't play with that.
Similar to anything that we ran into before.
I believe I have heard tale of these things.
Is this something I should be concerned about?
It is something that you have seen illithids use.
Yes. If I remember correctly, these are intellect devourers. When they hit you, you get stupid.
Yeah, I remember them greatly.
Oh no.
There are illithids here. No!
Okay, you know what? Just because we see one, there's an illithid.
A creation, not necessarily an illithid here. Creation of, or there actually are illithids.
You know what? No, we have a regional expert, Alira.
Don't you put that evil upon me.
That would be coming from Professor book and notes that we have, not from Alira. Yes.
Alira, you've definitely seen these things used before in very aberrant situations regarding the illithids.
I know.
In fact, it was probably one that knocked you out before you were put in your pod.
Hell, the party as a whole crushed a couple of them.
You're very familiar with these things.
I want to go back in the pod. It only hates.
Sadly, they all failed, and I don't know the magics to bring them back.
Are there any more of them around?
You see a few scampering around, kind of in the distance. They climb on trees, they climb on walls, they climb in and just kind of lumber around. You see other ones that, from what you know about the intellect devourers, their mouth is kind of in the front of their face, where you see others that have arms and legs, but there's a mouth on top of them. Still looking very fleshy, still
Even
looking
big
very
things got mutated.
weird.
Brains with legs and arms. Multiple configurations of mouths and face and arms.
You also see just pure blobs of flesh with many eyes, just kind of scooting. And a giant toothy maw. Appendages that you think might have been arms at one point. Not anymore, though.
Okay. Keep your eyes open. Let's not engage just yet. Unless they attack us.
Unless they? Unless.
Okay. Until they attack us.
Until they become aggressive towards me, I'll not swing my hammer.
They're all insane.
Thankfully, Alira, you have not seen any actual illithids at this point.
Small blessings.
Small
Praise be
blessings.
unto Lolth.
Indeed. So, with a lot of these creatures standing between you and your otherwise full day worth of travel, what do?
We're gonna get sneaky.
Well, you've already made your stealth rolls, so...
Yep.
So that's... You can avoid them.
Yeah, I think our best bet is to try and avoid them right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So, your second day of travel from the village where you started the day, where you started this session, will come to a close. You probably want to stand watch, because there is creatures that abound that may suck the life out of you. So, who's
Did we
taking
just lose
first
a
watch?
coffee?
Ah!
Buy coffee.
Why?
Hmm.
Why, YouTube? Why must I suffer like this? I don't
The bad
understand.
thing was, until I saw a specter reacting to it, I thought it was just on my end. These are my own issues.
Well, it freaked out enough that Coffee disappeared, Derek disappeared, and it was just the three of us in the room. And then suddenly, after Spec started that crap,
Welcome back,
Coffee
Twitch.
back.
That crap, he says. No, I just find it so funny every time because he'll just keep going and all I hear is like this robotic
and then we
sound.
say something and we get the typical scream.
Yeah, it's just the fucking screaming
We're
into
back.
the void that gets me. Hi.
Welcome back, Twitch. This is what you get to deal with live.
Every time.
Every time. We just deal. But yes. Who I was asking y'all if you since it is the end of your second day of travel towards the capital city that had been abandoned many ages ago, who is going to be taking first watch?
Vanya.
Vanya. Okay. Vanya, make a perception check.
Yay. Has a nat 20 for a 31.
What? What? Well,
Then.
you keep very vigilant. Very vigilant indeed. In fact, even as your companions are sleeping, you hear the little pitter-patters of feet in sand. The fog's still present, but you hear them. And when they get close, you scare away the little brain monsters. There's even a flump that comes to the camp. But it's very shriveled. It looks like it hasn't had anything to eat in quite some time, and it's getting a little too close to your companions.
I'm gonna try and shoo it off.
You try and shoo it off, but sadly the thing is starving and wants to eat you instead, since you volunteered.
Of course.
And it goes to swing at you, but I don't think that's gonna do it. They're not exactly very powerful creatures. Yeah, no. They are not very powerful at all. That is a 17 to hit?
It actually hits.
Oh. Well.
AC 16.
Okay. Okay. There we go. Hang on. Hang on. Give me a second. I'm gonna just look at the thing. I just want the image, damn it. Come on. Okay. Well, that is 3 points of piercing damage and 3 points of acid damage.
Ouch.
What do you do about it?
She's pulling the drow short sword and the short sword wounding out and going to swing at it.
Okay, go swinging.
First is the short sword with a 22 to hit.
Hits.
That is 4 points of slashing.
Okay.
Drow short sword. Nat 20.
You crit the thing.
Yeah. Let's see here. $13 points of slashing damage with that one.
And you slice the damn thing in half. And in a psychic sort of screech, you hear it scream at you as you kill it.
She's gonna cringe just a little bit and just... I'm sorry. It's just better if I put you out of your misery at the moment.
Okay.
But does it wake anyone up? That's the question.
I'm going to leave that up to the rest of you to decide, because it is a kind of psychic blast, but if it wakes you up and gives you a nightmare, that's your choice.
Less the scream and probably more the sound of arrows going shoop, shoop.
There were no arrows. That was all the swords.
Shunk,
Oh, really?
shunk,
What was
into a
noise?
fleshy mass.
I'll probably wake up shortly. I'm just kind of propping myself up on my elbows and.
Vanya. Is
Go
everything
back to
alright?
sleep. Poor little starving Flump got a little too close for comfort.
You
He
see
didn't
it
wanna
split
back
in
off.
half next to your bed.
Oh,
It didn't want to back off. Lashed out, so.
see. Well, mind if I just spend the rest of the first watch with you since I'm up anyways?
Sure. Could use the
Okay.
company.
Alright. I'll help how I can.
I'm gonna spend the rest of first watch with Vanya.
Okay. Any conversations you would like to have, or do you spend the first watch in relative silence?
Probably relative silence. Just not really sure what there is to say at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's more trying to stay vigilant because of all the aberrations running around.
Mm-hmm. It's true. First watch comes to a close. Second watch, who's taking it? Lagan?
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Oh, well, Lyra volunteers for next. Okay.
Yeah, a perception, right?
Yep, roll me a perception.
That's an 11.
Okay.
Plus 9 came into effect.
You kind of keep your eyes about, maybe getting a little spooked by some of the sounds going on in the relative silence of the night. You see the remnants of the little flump creature that Vanya dispatched. But you continue to watch. A couple of things get a little too close and you shoo them away. But otherwise, it's an uneventful night.
I can be grateful for the little things. Look at my face. Aren't I grateful? Aren't I?
Yes, indeed. What would normally feel like the wee hours of the night, with sunrise drawing close, there is a last watch, and Lagan will take it. Okay.
Yes, sir. I've got this. 24.
Okay. Nothing more seems to happen in the night. You hear the sounds of creatures in the distance. You can barely see at night as it is, so you listen intently.
Yes.
Nothing seems to draw very close, though. Maybe it was the scream of the flump that scared everything away.
Thanks for the little things.
You awake in the morning. You see that that Korobe has started to make breakfast. The morning is yours to do with as you please. You may prepare everything that you do need to prepare for the day, as this will also be the day that you travel through the wild magic zone.
Before we get into the zone, Lagan would be casting the Aid and Death Ward.
Okay. On
Death
Zephyr.
Ward on Zephyr, 8 on the Vanya, Alira, and Arya.
Okay, 8 on the girls, and Death Ward on Zephyr.
10
And
points
Pass Spell
for
Trace will be cast before we
Enter the
enter
Dead
it.
Zone.
Okay.
Yep.
So, with that, we're going to do another group stealth check. Ooh, yikes. Kurobe got a natural 1. Yep.
Very good, Kurobe.
With disadvantage, I rolled 2 natural 20s.
Holy shit.
Well, that undoes Kurobe's.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
that does balance it out.
But because I am in essentially plate armor for all, I'm still at disadvantage for stealth.
Mm-hmm.
31.
Kaz
Just
got a
want you
30.
to know I hate you.
I'm sorry. I love you.
No, I'm talking to Mojo.
I love you too, dude.
Double nat 20.
Makes me want a table flip too, so I don't get good rolls even when I'm playing the boss monsters.
Let's see here. Plus Dex. That's a 9! Yay!
Yay!
Plus 10.
$27 for Arya.
Wait, did Alira get a natural 1?
No,
No. Okay.
I got a 6.
Ah, 6. Okay.
Plus
Plus
3.
stealth, and then plus the 10 on top of it. So 19.
All right. Well, seems all of you balance out Kurobe's utter blunder of a stealth check. Seems to be a running theme for him. He's the one who has 2 left feet now, not not Kinwin.
And Zephyr passes.
Okay.
It was an 18 on the die.
All right. Perfect. Moving stealthily, getting past any of the creatures that would otherwise be a little oblivious to your approach. You do notice that some of these other creatures are a little bit more vigilant, like those giant, sort of bird-like creatures seem to be perched up, looking for any little morsel that could possibly fill their bellies, if they have bellies.
Just out of precaution, Vanya's gonna get her bow ready.
Okay.
Following Vanya's lead, I'm gonna do the same because,
Okay. Just getting your things ready and kind of making your way with the weapons ready. You do see one of these things fly overhead once more. You kind of duck underneath the canopy of what would be a canopy of one of these sort of larger trees. But even that tree feels a little weird. It feels a little more fleshy this time around.
Don't put your hand on it.
Gonna continue on, just keeping an eye out. And not touching the fleshier trees.
They are definitely the ones that have the faces that seem to move, and they don't turn back into like a tree-like shape when they do. They kind of look like they're screaming at you. Mouth wide open, eyes kind of bugging out. Almost a very distinct nose, but not quite.
Keeping eyes on birds and ahead of us, not looking at the trees. We've done learned that lesson.
Alright.
Trying to get near the big tree as best I can. The big tree with the party.
Mm-hmm.
Not wanting to be any more noticed than we have been, because this is basically horrific. Like, this is my nightmare.
Continue moving forward. And what you find distinctly interesting about this as you move forward, when you get closer to what you know to be the outline of the wild magic zone that's on your map, the terrain changes. You see healthy trees. You see flowers in the field. You see grass. You see a lake beyond it.
Is there any way of telling if this is an illusion or not?
It's written down on the map. That's as much as you know for now until you actually get closer to that grass and flowers and trees.
Well, got no choice. We have to get a little bit closer. Hopefully it's not an illusion, just a byproduct of the wild magic area.
Okay. You get closer, and the grass is real. The flowers are real.
The
Trees are real.
And
In
the
fact,
trees are normal.
the trees are dense enough that there is a canopy overhead.
Oddly enough, the safest place is the wild magic area.
But there's no sun.
There's no sun. Lovely.
There's still that dense fog. There's still no sunlight piercing through whatever blackness has covered up the sky now. The sky is essentially black. There's no stars to speak of. There's no visibility of the moon during the night. It's like this place goes pitch black when night falls.
Alright, word of warning. Do not pick the flowers. And she's going to step over that boundary line.
Is this like a Fae thing?
Yes and no. More of a just don't touch anything because we are rhinoceros in the glass house. Bull in the glass house. Worm. What were the giant worms called? Remoras in the glass house.
Trying so hard.
Oh, okay. She leans over to the big guy.
Why would you put a remoras in a glass house? And why would one build a house out of glass?
You wouldn't. It's too fragile. That's, I believe, the intent of her statement was an irony of the fragility of. I am unsure. She confuses even me.
So am I. I think she perhaps is herself confused. Specs, how does it feel to be on the other end of weaponized autism?
You know,
Lethally's not here.
yeah. Shit. God damn it.
I'm glad I put a smile on your guys' face. Glad that was worth it.
Well, at actually, Arya, make an Arcana check.
Arcana check. You're asking a lot of someone who only has no
Can I
intelligence.
guidance this?
Please guidance this.
I'm asking Coffee.
Well, it's more along the lines of there's something that she
Innate.
knows that I
Okay.
want her to know.
Okay, well, I may not know it because I only got a 10.
Wild magic, wild mother. Maybe there's a link there.
You know, yeah, that would make sense. Wild magic, wild mother. Huh. This might actually be a slightly okay-ish place.
So, big question. After coming into this place, how does my connection to the Wild Mother feel?
Probably stronger than you've felt in a long time. And same with your connection to nature, Alira, and to a degree of Vanya. All of you feel like this is a defense mechanism? Because you don't see any aberrations trying to attempt to get into this place. In fact, they seem to avoid it.
How big is the place?
The wild magic zone is about 25 feet at the longest, or 25 miles at the longest, and 10 to 15 at the on the short end. Yeah.
Okay. So it's a fairly large area.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any areas that feel stronger or sense a stronger pull with the Wild Mother and these abominations, or they just don't come in here at all?
They just don't even attempt.
Okay. Are there any other natural fauna in these forested lush?
If you would like, you can make a nature check.
Well, thank you. 16.
Okay. It's very quiet. But you swear you hear the little bit of rustling of creatures maybe a little ways away. But you would imagine that being this close to the edge, they don't want to draw as much attention to themselves as possible, because there's always the possibility that something from out there could reach in here and then leave.
Right.
But it feels... And Arya, you probably would feel this a little bit more than the others, that there's a wound nearby. Kind of has you drawing your vision to the tree.
A wound.
And this is the land defending itself from it.
I pause for a moment. There's a part of me that is perhaps having this bit of a sinking feeling. Almost
Why is that?
reactively, I like bring my hand up as if I'm about to start on like the somatics of a spell, but then clench my fist. Think for a moment. Do you... I mean, we're all feeling it. Something almost as if it's like her body's trying to fight against it. Right?
The rest of you just feel like you have your nature senses back.
Okay.
No, just me. Okay, I feel like there's something hurt, injured. This, like we're near it. The wound.
Can you, like a compass, lead us
I
to
don't
this
know, Coffee, can I?
You know it's the
wound?
tree.
I just point to the tree.
Okay. So this is the wound.
That would make sense, technically.
Yeah. Given my study into the abominations and how to cure the wounds that they've caused to other people, not necessarily the land, can I begin to experiment and decipher a way in trying to heal the wound of this tree using these techniques? In medicine?
Given how big the tree is,
Yeah.
it would take, even with assistance from a magic user such as yourself, even a very powerful one would take millennia.
What if it were defined? Wait, no, I'm not enough for that yet.
Centuries at the minimum, millennia at the
Right.
longest.
Well, there are things that could still be done along the way. Might make that time grow short. But we don't have time for that today. So the creatures we've seen in response are the tree's way of getting rid of the abominations and fighting the infection or wound.
Make a medicine check for me.
What I'm trying to ask for. 15 plus 13, 28.
You give it some thought. The tree, the giant flesh tree, is what created the wound.
Okay.
The wild magic zone is the land trying to fight off the abominations.
Okay.
Because the abominations come from that thing.
if the abominations don't come in here, we can take a day or two before we have to push into the ruins if you'd like. Or would you rather just go into the ruins and find whatever Imperial is harvesting from this tree?
We still have a lot of walking to do anyway, so...
Let's just push through. Where? The day, theoretically, is still young. I can't quite tell.
How all of this grass and trees is growing without any sunlight is magical.
Well, at least we're safer from the things outside it. I still think we need to keep an eye out, just in case.
So, continue pressing forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, until the end of the day.
Okay.
Or something pops up to attack us.
Right.
Again.
What'd you say, Derek?
Again.
Well, as you kind of travel through this little zone here, you definitely can feel the bit of chaos that a wild magic zone has by its own nature. The sort of whether of picking one of the flowers, one of the many flowers in this space, or even a blade of grass, or what have you, what it could potentially do. Slight little playful thoughts in your minds, maybe not. But you continue to move forward. You are not harassed by any creature that it means you any harm. You don't really you just see what you would expect in a tropical jungle like this. Like you see kind of monkeys kind of climbing into the trees and just kind of swinging a little bit. You see the bugs and the very fertile earth under this under the underbrush of the jungle floor. You see the wild grasses, the big plants, the sort of, you even see some of those plants that would otherwise be like poisonous or something to that effect in this place. You already don't want to bother them because there's potentially for a wild magic zone, but even more so seem to, attract insects, and you start hearing the sounds of insects around you. The only thing that seems to harry you at the moment is getting bitten by mosquitoes.
Of course.
Because
you do see little standing ponds that have formed in this place.
So if we're in this kind of area, there's pretty good plant life. Is there anything similar to like a wild onion that we could find? Say a natural insect and specifically mosquito repellent.
Interesting.
I was informed we should not be plucking any plants or things.
I'm not talking about plucking them. I'm talking about finding them and rubbing it on ourselves, not necessarily plucking it.
Okay.
We can give it a shot. I still think it might be a bad idea.
If it's a jungle plant, it's very likely. So make a investigation check.
Okay. Whoa, natural 20 for natural 20. A total of 20.
Okay. You find a very, very large plant of this type. It's got lots of leaves and fronds, sort of poking out of this very healthy, very vibrant plant. Probably the most color in this place that you have seen in quite some time, because everything else beyond this, back in the waste, is very gray. It feels nice to be looking at some color again. And so, you you're not intending to actually pluck the leaves off of the plant, just rub your skin on
Yes.
the plant? Okay.
Right. Well, because they should be big enough and flexible from what you're describing, that we can rub it on ourselves and it works as a natural. The oils on that works with our enzymes to be a natural insect, specifically mosquito repellent.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Mojo's injecting real world methodology into it again. So,
Hey,
one of those go with it.
if it works, it works. So, anyone who would like to be mosquito repelled, which it seems that Lagon is definitely doing so. So, Lagon, I'm going to need you to make me a sleight of hand check, just to make sure you don't pluck any of those leaves or greenery.
Sleight of hand,
Mm-hmm.
16.
Okay. He's very delicate. He's very good with his hands. It's a wonder that he didn't pick up being a surgeon long before this. So he delicately starts rubbing the oils of the leaves onto his person. He now smells like the plant.
I suppose that'd be a sleight of hand for anyone who wants to.
Anyone who wants to.
Okay. I'm not gonna risk it.
Okay.
Nope.
That's what I've decided.
You're just gonna get
Can
bit by
I-
mosquitoes.
Not touching it.
16.
Can I help?
Fine, I'll just get malaria.
Can I help? Can I help
Just
the
get the-
ones that don't?
I'll just get
The prestidigitation out.
Thaumaturgy does nothing for me.
Oh my
mean-
god, you're. Wait, no, I'm not gonna prestidigitate it out here.
Hey, that
Don't
would
put
work.
bad ideas in my head.
It's my
I
job
love how
as your
it took you a
DM.
minute.
It's my
Don't
job
take
to.
advantage. Don't take
Good
advantage.
job
of me
checking
like
to
that.
see who's paying attention, Coffee.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's on you. I can multitask. I'm just gonna let myself be bit by mosquitoes.
Okay.
Wild magic mosquitoes. Wild magic in my blood.
Well, magic in your
Okay.
blood.
Wild magic in my blood.
Well, this plant is part of the wild magic that naturally repels those.
Mosquitoes
I
are not aberrations. They are insects.
I trust your ability to do this. I don't trust mine.
That's why I said I could assist you in a lira.
Could you do it for me?
Yes.
Okay, yes,
Vanya
please.
could help as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please. I need help.
Okay.
You hit Alira, I hit Arya.
Yeah.
No, you keep that away from me.
This will keep the insects from
If she don't want it,
biting.
she don't have to have it.
It is a natural way of dealing with this so that it does not harm the plant or the insect. This is a wisdom of those of us from the surface. every biome produces something to counteract an improper balance. This is not a proper balance at all. This plant is much larger than it should be. But it serves the purpose that it should. And this area keeps all the abominations out. So this can be a potential safe haven if we don't cast any magics. Or if you're feeling froggy, you know, you might blow yourself and us up as well.
So with assistance, that means I get advantage, right?
Or Mojo can do it for you.
I trust Mojo's dice more than mine.
What am I rolling?
That's the safe bet, yeah.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Sleight of hand for Vanya, too.
Okay, so the first roll was 19 total. The second roll is a 17 for sleight of hand.
It was only supposed to be one roll.
Okay.
Yeah, he's telling me I need a roll too.
Okay, so I rolled an 18, and I thought you said roll a second time.
No. I would to help Arya was just the one roll.
Okay, that was 19.
Okay.
To help Arya.
I have dirty 20 for mine.
Okay. And you were doing so for yourself, or were you doing so for Alira?
Myself for that one.
Okay. Alira, are you accepting the help, or you do not want?
No, I want no part of this wickedness. This is a unknown territory in a unknown land filled with a bunch of, near as I can figure, Fey energy. I have no idea what any of this is about to end up doing, and to end up treating it as though it was as mundane as a mushroom or a spider has been the death of many travelers in the unknown. I am not partaking in.
We are effectively your walking experiments now to see how this turns out.
You are the canary, yes.
That's fine by me.
Okay.
Well, I'm not picking the flower. I'm using what I know of nature to help me. Even in something as this, where weird magics abound, there should still be some kind of counterbalance to even out.
Well, nobody damaged the plant, so nobody got blown up. Boo.
I don't want to blow anybody up. These I'm not aware of this. Thank God.
Well, thankfully, wild magic and the wild mother is on your side for all of this cantankering that you're doing. And as you're kind of doing so, you hear something rather large in the distance. Kind of stomping feet. Sounds like only 2 feet, really.
What the heck is that noise?
Is it coming towards us?
Make a perception check.
We need to do the same thing for Zephyr.
Zephyr's fine.
Okay.
21.
It doesn't sound like it's walking towards you, but it does sound like it's walking past. Like it's walking in the distance past where you are.
Can I tell approximately how far away it is?
Vanya, you would know that it's maybe several hundred feet.
Vanya's gonna climb a tree to see if she can get a better look.
And so you do. You climb a tree and you get a better look. It's another one of those rock monsters.
Huh. Okay. No picking. Oh, she's gonna go down. It's a rock monster of sorts. Kurobe, no picking a fight with it this time.
He
It's
just grumbles.
It's just walking by. It's ignoring us if it's even aware that we're here.
Something you did notice about it, though, is it is a little bit different. It's made up of a different rock. It's not made up of the same sort of red desert rocks that you found in the Argyll Desert. It's made up more of sort of slate.
And she'll tell everyone that too. Which makes sense. Different area. Different materials.
Interesting. You said there was in Kombe, in the desert, there was another golem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was protecting the archaeology site of the pyramid where we lost the rune.
What is the probability?
There's another one such as here.
Yes.
It is a theory. It is not a bad theory. It is a good one to at least start with. Only way for us to know is to continue on
Agreed.
and find potentially, without losing all of our blood, sacrifice to the temple to get in. There's not quite as many of us here as there were when we went there. It was a lot easier. It was less taxing for any one person. Because there was an entire archaeological team already there.
Yeah.
Willing to help us. Or rather, willing to help us so we could help them.
Well, I certainly hope they were helped.
We don't know if any of them made it out of the ruins.
When the entire temple came crashing down.
We barely survived.
The only reason we did was because of Rune and Professor Cypher.
Rune's sacrifice allowed Cypher to pull us through.
How regrettable.
Which is what led me to finding you. And all the things that go with that. And all this brought us here.
That's also why a few of us have a love-hate relationship with Cypher. Or hate. However you want to phrase that.
Love Seltzer, hates Cypher. Most days would just rather break his jaw, but he does have some value.
Well, let's maybe not take down a temple over our heads
Again,
again.
preferably. No, I don't even think if there's a temple in here that we'd have time to really do much exploring of it.
Well, we pretty much just followed the blood in the last one.
Fair.
Maybe.
There's another source required for this one. Different colored rock, different type of rock. Maybe different source of whatever is required.
I'm wondering if the golem is, this one is just as defensive.
I'd be willing to bet.
Well, we have a few miles to find out. Providing it notices us.
What we know of them is they are very territorial. If you don't harm them, even though they are territorial, as long as you don't encroach further on their space, they won't necessarily attack you once they've set their perimeters.
Then I guess we're stealthing by.
That would be best.
All right. If that is indeed the desire, then continue to stealth. You will.
I would.
Did that, so.
I shouldn't do this. But at the same time, I'm saying fuck it. I'm gonna have a little bit of fun with it. I'm still passing cast without pass without trees
Okay.
because we need it.
I also want to potentially make perception to see if I could potentially find a place or area that this thing would be guarding. That might be an entrance.
Okay. So everyone roll a stealth check first.
25.
That's
26.
Well, that's a low number for Cause, but I think he gets he has lots of modifiers, so
I did real good this time. Had a really good roll.
25 for Cause. Go ahead.
It was 14. I rolled a 2.
14. Nice.
We're tied.
15
Yay!
for Karobe.
26.
Okay. Find it.
I think it was 24 for me.
Okay. And
I
Zephyr?
thought you said it was 25.
Oh yeah, it was 25 because it was a 10 on the die. And Zephyr gets a nat 20.
The Pupper.
This pupper.
Everybody does very well. And so far as you can tell, this thing does not see you. Or know that you're there. And Lagan wanted to find out if it was guarding anything specific. That would be a perception check on your end.
27.
Okay. Based on the way that it's walking, it also kind of looks like it's lumbering a little bit, but it's kind of lumbering with purpose. Although you don't see anything nearby that seems like it would be distinct, like a building or a temple of any kind, that it would be guarding specifically. You just notice that as you're walking along, it's also walking along. Almost like it doesn't... It's not interacting with you directly, but it knows where you're going. It seems to follow you for several hours. Not directly behind you, but kind of around where you are.
Constantly mirroring where we're going, the direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you do see the ruins of the city in the distance, and the the giant flesh tree is definitely more in your vision on this, you know, on this view that you're seeing now. As you get closer to the edge of the wild magic zone.
With this thing following us, does it seem to get a bit more aggressive if we go one direction more than another? Like, if this is us facing north at the tree, going east, does this thing get closer or become or show any more? Okay.
Just for clarification, this is still the thing that's doing the big stomping at this point,
yes.
right?
Yes, it is. Okay. It is the thing that is stomping.
Well, what I remember and what we were told of the one in the desert of those ruins, it guarded an area, a perimeter around. So
maybe this one's got a different purpose. Maybe it can tell that we don't mean any harm to this place.
I don't know. It would seem to have some kind of intelligence to follow us.
Later on in the evening, as you're approaching the edge of this zone, almost as if on cue, one of these flying creatures comes swooping down towards the edge of this place. Swooping down towards the golem that you see. And it just simply swings at the thing, knocking it to the ground, and continues to bash it until it sort of evaporates out of it. There's nothing left.
So it's definitely a guardian. At least from appearances. Much like the other one was. That one required a blood sacrifice. What would this one require? Spirits? Help in removing these things?
I don't think this golem really requires anything.
If
it's taking out the aberrations, I think we can just leave it alone.
I think we need to make a decision before we start hypothesizing. If there is another temple here, do we want to try and see if there's anything in it, or do we continue to the tree? We're continuing to the tree, right?
Yes, we are continuing to the tree, not...
Okay. We are continuing to the tree.
I'm just trying to make a note of if there might be, between here and there, a vicinity that would be much more likely to have the temple than not.
Suppose we'll find out.
As if a sort of hard cutoff, the zone in which you feel the wild magic sort of permeate you. You step over that boundary back into the waste towards the ruins of the city, and again you feel You feel that blockage. That blockage, like you are a little distant from the nature of the world. Walking towards a city that used to be occupied by both gnome and human, the ruins of which are made of stone, of wood. They spiral up into the surrounding trees, and on the ground around them, you see what used to be roads. You see what used to be a fountain. You see what used to be a lively, bustling metropolis of a town as you walk through what you imagine to be the outskirts of this city. What used to be farms, and further in, what used to be individual homes, and all of them lifeless, gray, dim, crumbling. Anything of a natural essence is turned ashen. The stone only survives because what little of it is there has not been eroded by time.
Is it the ash like the ash from before?
Yes. Ashy sand, very lifeless, very, very barren. And you see beyond that, because there are a number of buildings that are still very much intact, just abandoned. No lights, pitch dark. There's no one living in them. And as you're kind of wandering through the streets, you see these aberrant creatures again. You see flumps. You see the little brain intellect devourers. You see the walking around of sorts of mounds of flesh given movement. You see that these things have become the inhabitants of this place. And again, otherwise, everything is quiet. Eerily quiet. No rustling of leaves, because there are no leaves. No rustling of the wind in the sand, because there is no wind. Just a city that was a city, but is now not.
If not for the minor rustlings of the other things, a dead silence.
Very similar to the rest of the wasteland. Beyond the city limits, you see a lake that is half dried up. And the giant petrified tree that houses maybe some more of this fleshy material that the Rioran Empire has been harvesting beyond what looks like a royal's mansion. And in there, you do see lights from deep within it.
Death.
But you have to get past a big horde of shambling monstrosities, as well as you do see some Greenwarn Empire soldiers.
For this stealth, could it potentially be a performance base? In that we're using uniforms of former empires of these hair abomination things that we've killed to try and blend in with them?
If you think it'll work.
I don't know. It's an idea to put forth. Are they being attacked by the giant golem or the
The golem has
wound?
stayed behind.
Okay.
It stayed behind at the edge of the wild magic zone.
Oh. So whatever it's protecting is in the wild magic zone. Or is the wild magic zone? Maybe that is the treasure it protects. The other one was protecting a sphinx. Well, a kind of sphinx, I believe. But something was wrong with her. She was dead and corrupted. More of a zombie abomination than the majestic creature that she should have been.
The soldiers that we see, are they slumped over or are they walking normally?
You see a mixture of both. Some are slumbering through, kind of lumbering through the city streets, but the ones that are normal, more or less, are the ones that are guarding the sort of royals mansion that you see.
Okay.
But you've barely even just kind of gotten into the city. You're going to have to get past all of these creatures in order to be able to even get to that royals mansion that you see at the edge of the city. It almost seems built in a way to the giant tree.
We could fly over part of it. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard to not be seen by the good living soldiers and stay, hidden from the aberrations on the streets.
My only thought was that the survivors here, there's so many new Imperial troops coming in, they can't know all of them. We have the information of the ones that we killed. At least for the living ones, should it be required, we can pretend we are them. And we've picked up some extra help along the way with some of the difficulties that we faced.
We might be able to get away with it.
You don't sound so sure.
I'm definitely not somebody from native of the Empire. You don't see many of my kind in this country, and those that you do are typically merchants moving in and out and not staying in any one particular place.
Using the armor wouldn't be a problem. Using their names and ranks would probably be on top of that. could give it a shot. It's up to the rest of you
Use
guys.
the armor, and we were sent to. We were sent for backup for them. We found them all slaughtered by these abominations. That's how we found their papers and knew who they were. By slaughtering the abominations and then finding their slaughtered corpses, we found who they were. We are simply coming to offer aid should that be required. If we have to meet and talk to someone, we don't have to. And try and make our way past all of these things into there silently. But that would require us taking time and learning the habits of this place.
Well,
But
that's why I was saying we could fly over a good portion of them,
yes,
land, and then make our way closer.
often in places like this, there is an underground. Not many know of, not many see. Those that do see or do know would be vigilant.
How did you come to that conclusion?
Particularly when they're attached to palaces. There's often some kind of way that is hidden to get in and out of a palace. They're typically often very closely watched, as they are not meant to be known. Large cities typically have vast underground networks of natural and excavated caves and tunnels that they use for transportation of and storage of goods and other materials. Typically as vast as the cities themselves.
But this is a gnomish city. Kurobe pipes up. Most of the buildings kind of are attached to trees.
Maybe there's something similar in the roots.
Would you really trust going through the roots, though, in this place?
I don't trust anything in this place.
Exactly my point. Okay, one problem at a time here. We know where the palace is compared
Yes.
to us. We know kind of what lies between us and it. We get closer, we figure things out from there.
Lagan is looking for any kind of sewers or any kind of drainage that might be vital to, or once have been vital to this place.
Okay.
You said a combination of human and gnomish architecture.
Yeah, and primarily a lot of the homes were kind of built into trees, and
Right.
some of the buildings are built into the ground for sure. So give me no one's really familiar with the history of anything gnomish, really. So I'm gonna say that that's gonna be an investigation check, but it's gonna be at disadvantage.
Even with the book
Even with the
from
book.
Professor Wickerbottom.
Because Professor Wickerbottom told you about the ecology of the place, not about the politics or any city planning.
Okay. Ooh. So at disadvantage. You said it was investigation, right?
Yep.
15.
Okay. Anything that looks remotely like it would be some kind of like sewer system used in this place is blocked, or there really isn't much of one to begin with.
Okay.
There's not really a whole lot of underground digging that the gnomes do.
Right. No, that would have been more of a human thing.
Even the humans here though had a lot of gnomish sort of because the Uct culture is very natural in the way that it does things. So it tries the people of Uct try their best not to cut down trees, not to disturb the land of its resources if they don't have to.
Right.
Use things as natural as possible when it comes to like the rocks and the shapes of the rocks. And so even the stone of the buildings that you do see in this place are very natural in shape. They're not very well hewn into bricks.
Right.
That's possibly part of the reason why it crumbled as much as it did, because anything of a mud or kind of used as a mortar to keep the buildings together has rotted away.
Quick question: are there any of those bird things still in the sky?
Yep, because they're flying all around the tree.
Okay, amendment to my plan: no flying. That'd be a dumb idea.
They're kind of landing on buildings. They're kind of flying all around the giant tree. They're just kind of all over the place.
All becomes spiders like Alira?
That would probably require a little bit more magic than we currently have. It seems like we're just gonna have to stealth our way through it, unfortunately.
I thought I remembered someone had polymorph
Two
they had
people
been using?
Had
Had.
a day just to prepare the spell.
You know, you're okay.
Yep.
I
On
was
top of that,
expecting to have to end up doing land travel, not suddenly end up making somebody into some form of caramel.
Well, we've gotten through so far by just being stealthy. I think we can do it some further.
We rely on the gods to guide us then. They've
And she
gotten
is
us this
casting
far.
Passes out trace.
Okay. Well, in that case, because this is going to be a bit of a stealth gauntlet, we're going to come back to that next time. So you'll be going through the city's ruins next time when we come back to Rebirth, a D&D tale. In that, I am so glad you guys were here, and sorry all of everyone out in the live Twitch land for all of the hiccups that we've been having as a result of my rather borked internet. So
Alira has one question though.
Sure.
A caramel, does it have one? Is it the horse with one hump or two?
She's so funny. Oh man. But yes, thank you guys so much for playing.
Yay.
You guys
So
are
glad
great.
my phone is fixed and I can play.
Yes. I will have to do my best to save the thing that I actually built for this gauntlet of yours because I was expecting to do it tonight, but you know, internet caused
Internet issues,
some
everything else.
delays, and I don't want to keep you guys up for too much longer. But yeah, thank you guys so much for playing. We will get to the city gauntlet next time, and run you guys through that. So be prepared.
Yeah, maybe we'll actually have it next time.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Well, with that being said, it is time to dish out some experience. So, everybody gets their 5 for showing up today.
Oh,
Yay.
I just came back and we're doing this. Hi.
Yeah, because the city gauntlet might take longer than we have for the rest of the night. So,
Fair enough.
it's already 12:30. So,
Got it. Yeah, sorry. Bathroom break.
no worries. But yeah, so we got the 5 for everybody showing up today. Y'all did 3 days of very stealthy travel, so I'm gonna give you another 5.
Yay.
Ding.
Ding.
Yay.
Now we talk about roleplay prompts. So, who moved our plot today?
Lagon.
Lagon.
I'd agree.
Okay. Well, that's 3 votes for Lagon.
I will take it. I
Okay.
will not argue.
What about best scene?
I'm gonna throw my hat in there for trying to lasso the the soldier.
The humanoid-shaped blobby boy?
Well, it worked on the flump. It should work on this. Nah.
You pulled his helmet off instead and revealed that he is in fact a horrible thing.
Yeah. I wanted to vote for Alira for the scene with her mentor.
Oh, there's that.
Yes, it might be an illusion. Yes, it might be harmful. But in that moment, it was a beautiful connection for her to her past.
I don't even think it's that. The thing that got me about that scene was just that, like, slight gut wrenching.
Yeah.
When the illusion said, "How are you?" or whatever, and Alira's only response is, "I'm lost."
Oh.
I just, like, it really kind of, like, sank in for me, like, just how really vulnerable she feels in all of this.
Yeah.
She's putting on a very brave
like,
face, but she is absolutely terrified out of her mind, I'm sure.
I don't know. It was
she's
just like
following the Lucky Sevens into like a death trap.
Yeah, like it's weird for all of us, but for Alira, this is like
especially weird.
This is like terror incarnate.
I'm sure Alira thinks that we are all psychotic at this point.
Well, yes, but
yeah, but you haven't done anything to really prove otherwise.
Yeah.
Potential murder hobos at the drop of a hat.
There's no potential here.
No potential, and
it's kind of like when somebody says there's a. If they aren't telling you it's the risk of tetanus, it's a guarantee.
Look, I try to give you guys other options, but y'all take the murder route. I mean, what else am I supposed to do?
I didn't choose the murder route.
No.
Someone else did, and I was yoinked along.
Okay. There are a few times where Lagan has chosen murder, but there were very specific circumstances for doing so. And
It's
each one
rude.
of them
I mean, it
involves
doesn't-
somebody trying to bring back one of these titans or the old gods.
I
It
miss
puts
Rune.
things into context, yes. It doesn't
He's such a-
necessarily absolve you.
No,
Arya,
I'm not saying
moral
it
code.
does.
No, I understand. It just creates context.
Arya got audience favorite, by the way.
Nice.
Oh, thank
Arya's
you.
favorite is Arya today. Well, I
There you
think Alira gets our gets the vote for the best scene for today. So best line.
This is where I was going to vote Illyra for that scene with the I'm lost.
Mm-hmm.
Me too, brother.
Very poignant, for sure.
I'll go with that too.
Okay. So best line and best scene are for the same line, basically.
Well, for the entire scene, not just that line.
Of course.
No, there was actually a very different line that I wanted to choose for Alira, which was where like Gon was explaining, well, Rune sacrificed himself so that all of us could get out with Cypher's power. We don't know if the researchers made it out. They might have been destroyed by the ruins destruction. And then the Lyra, dry as fuck, just says, how tragic. It's like in the grand scheme of things, out of all the atrocities we committed.
How tragic.
Well, they required us to use our blood and mingle it with theirs to get in. We didn't have time to look for them. We told them we had our own business.
Yeah, it was just funny as fuck to me. Because it was like, it's a good call out. I like it.
Well, it sounds like Alira gets it regardless of which one we go with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But with all of that being said, now let's find somebody to raid, and we will call that for the end of the session. So I hope you all have enjoyed, even with all of the technical issues, the blippins and blouts of the internet that I have had today. It is a very sad day indeed. That's 2 weeks in a row that's happened, so I may have to resort to some stern talking to of my of my internet provider. But yeah, let's Raven has decided we're gonna go visit Down to Die, so let's go visit Down to Die, everybody.
Yay.
Maddie's not live.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Fair enough, but I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and say goodnight, everybody.
Good night.
Nice.
Night.
Good night.